Line time. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC. Let me get this camera straight. See what we got going on over here this morning in YouTube land with the number one host as well as the number one family. And what do I always call you guys? You're not just mods. You guys are like family members. You guys are my friends. You guys are part of the clique. Wasn't for you, there'd be no me. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. Let me get this camera straight so this way we all good. I think we really knocked it out the park. We getting used to this already, huh? I think we getting used to it. Let me go ahead and get this camera straight. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Trump says Iran is starting to cross the line. It's time to get into it, you guys. We got trending topics, current events, my antics, the number one chat in YouTube land. Let's get into it. Let me see if I can get this camera a little more tighter over here. Actually, I think that's pretty good right there. I shouldn't even be greedy. Okay, let me see what's going on over here. Yeah, we got a little bit on the top over there, but I'm not going to be greedy. I could actually pull it all the way in just a little more. Let's see what type of time we're working with. Y'all know me. I gotta try my best to get it the best. There's no stopping. This is what you call practicing all the way up into the game. This way you never have to prepare if you're always prepared. That's what that means. So it's good that I can do it and play now. And that's a little bit better right there. I think I should possibly raise it up just a little bit for my cell phone users, because they always tell me to raise it up. Oh, I can really see it on this phone. 1 second, guys. How y'all doing this morning? Who we got up in the building? Liberty and Justice, Diggity Diggs, Casey. Casey, I got something for you this morning, bro. You gonna like this one. I got something for you this morning. Glad you in here early. I was like, yo, Casey gonna love this, because he actually told me he rocked with this. So got a surprise for you this morning, my brother. Who else we got up in here? I know y'all get aggravated when I set up this mic, set up this camera. That's why I give myself all this time. A little bit higher. And actually I think it's really good right there, but sometimes they tell me to do this. Sometimes they tell me to do that. That's what Batty Lynn be telling me to do, just a little bit more. Casey, yeah, it's going down. So you can hear me. Okay. How you doing, Diggity? What's going on, fam? Yo, I'm glad I have a little bit of time to come kick it with y'all before we start. Actually, I think I'm going to do a spotlight today so that we can do a Q&A. Just have some time for us to vibe. Don't have to worry about the suit and having all of that on. Probably ask some questions about maybe the show and things like that. We might just go ahead and do a Q&A today. And that'll be a good situation right there. We can do a Q&A to get a little more in depth with each other there. Ask a couple of questions and stuff like that. Let's see where we at with it. We still playing around with time. Y'all know how we do. I think I'm gonna just leave it like that, because you can't be perfect, especially on a cell phone. We're happy right now, you guys. Hope y'all doing well. It's our bottom line. You could have went anywhere. Fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. We are now back at the number one slot on YouTube from 6 o'clock in the morning. There is nobody actually rocking with us at all. They can't rock with us, you guys. And you know what? I am proud of that, the fact that they can't. All right? I'm really proud of the fact that they can't, and we work for every single thing that we get over here. So without any further ado, you guys, I want to say some prayers. I want to say some prayers for security, for good health, for good measure for our families as well as our pets. Who we praying for this morning? That's right, you guys. Let's go. Diggity Diggs, how you doing? We're praying for you. Liberty and justice. That's right. Who else we got? Casey. We got Luigi in the building. Rebecca, Lanya, and Bueno. Okay, who else we got up in here? You know I got to pray for you, sis. I hope you're doing great. That's right. Let's get those likes up for no reason at all, because we know where we're about to go. Who we got over there? I see you, Lawrence, CE68W. What's up? Yo, Gotti, how you doing? Also want to make sure that everybody understands, even the people that are not here, want to make sure that they're good. Sam Champion, Kendra Walker, people that we remember like Dot Focus, even Harley, believe it or not. Remember Harley, you guys? Where you at, Harley? Got the tumbleweeds coming through for you. But yes, every single person, no matter what, all of our family, amen. Y'all ready to go? Because I'm ready to start this show. Let me get a couple of things straight over here. We got audio. We on time. I see you guys ready. That's right. Remember Harley, y'all? Yeah, got to pray for him no matter what. I hope his dogs are doing good as well. Luigi, how you doing? Make sure that you in there. My boy, Brian. What's up, Diggity? Okay, we got a lot of people coming in. You know what that means to me, right? Whatever happened to Natalie? I don't know. There's another person that got away from us as well. But sometimes it happens. People outgrow, their time schedules change. Remember Tim the Gym? You know, she's not available in the daytime, so we have to do like afternoon shows and 6 o'clock for people like that. That's why I started doing the spotlight. But to be honest with you, this show is a lot of work, so I can't do both and try to get a lot done. But yes, Liberty, I will be getting on those streets. We are going to be doing some Q&A, and we're going to do the Q&A on the streets about the topics that we're talking about. And you guys are going to have to finally watch some videos of Bugatti so I can finally make some money here on YouTube land. Because at this point, it's like minimum wage going hard on stage. But I don't care, because every day I wake up, that's payment enough. Understand that. And I'm ready to go. I know this watch is about to tell me the same thing. So guess what? Y'all ready? We got a good one. I always pre-warn you and tell you, we got a good one in the lineup. So let's do it, okay? You ready? I'm ready to go. They're ready to go. I said it's time to start the show. I hope you're ready, yo, 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 yo. Whoa. And what we do? Wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up. For Tuesday, January 13th. And anytime you're ready, we can get to our show. You need a wave? Okay. And I'm ready. Let's go. Boy. Okay. Olay. I can't wait to do that song, because you know we're going to do that song, right? I'm going to have a video and everything. Y'all going to be like, yo, he actually did it. And I'll be mentioning you guys' names as well, because again, can't do it without you. But first, we got to hit that bongo drum and open up those pores. Boom, bah, boom, boom, boom. We got to open up those pores. Lucky I'm talking, because if I wasn't, it'd sound like a drum. I got to open up those pores. Boom, chicka, tap, boom, 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 tap. I'd be so happy just to have another day on earth. That's why I be turned up like this. We gotta open up those pores and doom, 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 doom. You never try me, stood right by me. Made me living highly, spoken of, my only love, the only one. And you're my wifey, makes my life complete, sweet. But you know how to flip a street, freak. Only when it's complete, and that's why you're my wifey. No, got me mind blown. Oh, hey, don't back. Oh, So, saw you outside the passenger ride, and let my best friend ride, and you was in line. That's when you caught my eye, girl. You look so beautiful, so beautiful. I don't know the rest, but and we gonna keep it going on, cause the favorite part's coming. Something about you and everything you want. Tell me, stood right by me, and I'll be highly spoken of. The only one, my only love, stood right by me. Yo, Casey, I gotta be your boy to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? My boy was like, yo, I love that song. When we did it in the club, in the store one day, he was getting busy. I thought he was gonna break dance. But that was for you. Hearts and love to my brother. And y'all know what it is, right? Y'all know what it's time for. If boom, that be. It's Tuesday the 13th. That's right, y'all. 2026. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line. But we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that, because we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me lit. Doom 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 doom. Drive me. Stood right by me. Yo, that was the joint right there, though. Y'all cannot even front. That was the heat right there. Thanks for the inspiration, Casey. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. It's your boy, Bugatti NYC. Like I always tell you, could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Let's get some last minute shout outs for my boy Casey. Big shout out to Joseph. Big shout out to Tyson. I see Liberty in the building. Topeka. Who else we got up in here? I see Rebecca Langen Bueno. I see you finally came in. Who else we got up in here? Diggity Diggs. Brian, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let's get it on. Without any further ado, you guys know what I'm going to say, right? I got 5 on it. I'm going to stack 5 videos at a time. Only thing I'm going to ask you guys to do is let me know where you're chiming in from, what time it is. Do me a favor and let me know what city, state, country. I love to go and get content from where you guys are from. It keeps the conversation flowing. We got a lot to get into today, you guys, as far as trending topics. We've got current events and we got my antics, as well as the #1 chat and family members in the YouTube history. You guys yourselves, give yourself a round of applause. And guess what? It's time to go. I done opened up the show, did enough, flipped around, did all my craziness, clowned out. Hope you guys are good, because guess what? It's time to get into it. And without any further ado, let's get into these titles. What do we have here on the board this morning? We have Trump says that Iran is starting to cross the line. Uh-oh, you're starting to cross the line, and I'm gonna tell you why he's saying that. The numbers are starting to go up, especially since Elon has introduced Starlink to Iran, and all of the images are coming back. They're starting to find out much more of what's going on over there, and the president just does not like it. So he's got some commentary on that and how he plans on, probably not telling you how he plans on moving forward, but you guys know what's going on. Let's keep it moving forward. Double tap that screen to get those likes up, because I got Jeffrey Epstein's brother who's ordering a bombshell autopsy to prove that he was eliminated. We have to use that word eliminated, but you guys, again, know what I'm talking about. That's right, Michael Epstein is calling for a autopsy. Might be some sort of exhuming going on or whatever the case may be, but he wants his brother to be autopsied again to see if he actually did lose his life from natural causes. Let's keep on moving forward, because last but not least, Minnesota is ground zero for fraud and abuse, says James Comer. We already know that. I've been trying to cut the story short, because there's so much waste, fraud, and abuse going on in Minnesota, to the point where it's like, I see that and I'm like, wow, let me put that there. Then I see something else and I put that there. I try to limit us to at least 4 videos about the same topic. Sadly, there's too much fraud, waste, and abuse going on in too many categories in Minnesota, in Maine, in other areas like Ohio, in California. It's hard for me to just, okay, try to nestle it down. I really want you guys to see what's going on. And since we started, I like to keep on moving forward with those stories. So that means we got a lot in the clip, a lot of coverage, a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse we got to get through. I'm going to get through all of that stuff. I'll come back to the comments and see what you guys have to say after those 5 videos. It's time for me to get to work. Let's get it going on, you guys. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Hope you got your coffee, your tea, your water, or whatever you done fired up already. Let's get it in, you guys. Let's go. It's our bottom line time. We're going to start it off with President Trump right at the heading, saying that Iran is starting to cross the line. Let me get this audio up to make sure we're good, and let's get into it. Double tap that screen to get those likes up. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Massive deadly protests erupting in Iran as President Trump sends a warning to Tehran, saying the country is starting to cross the red line. How will the U.S. respond? Aisha Hasni joins us now from the White House with the latest. Good morning, Aisha.
Good morning to you, Charlie. So the president says that Iranian officials actually called him over the weekend, called the White House, trying to negotiate, but it might be too late. The Wall Street Journal is reporting the president is going to get briefed tomorrow by some briefers on potential responses to Iran, including more sanctions, cyber attacks, and even military strikes. He is not expected to make a final decision immediately, though. The briefers are Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane. Now, Trump told reporters on his way back from Mar-a-Lago last night that he is looking at some very strong options.
On here, have they crossed your red line yet to trigger?
Well, no, they're starting to, it looks like, and there seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military's looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination.
Human rights groups report the regime has already massacred more than 500 people as protesters are defying the Ayatollah's crackdown. And there's an ongoing internet blackout in that country. The president says that he is getting an update. He's being briefed hour by hour, and he's actually meeting with the Secretary of State later this morning. Charlie?
And you know that that's bringing him and Elon back together closely, widely knit, because Elon is basically supplying what? Starlink, so that this can be viewed where it can be viewed. It's terrible what's going on over there, and I hate to think about it. We got to get a little bit more in depth with the story because, yes, it's a top world news category right now, what's going on in Iran because of what's going on. I got to give you guys this other information. It's some pretty heartbreaking footage that shows Iranian bodies after protesters cracking down. They're basically looking through to see if their family members are out there. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys, and double tap that screen to get those likes up. Again, yes, we got all sorts of other news going on, but yes, we got to break the news as it comes. Here we have heartbreaking footage that shows grief-stricken families in Iran searching through rows of expired bodies after the Islamic Republicans started mills massacring anti-regime protesters in a ruthless crackdown. So yeah, there's dozens of individuals out there that were seen piled up outside a Kazakh forensic medical center near Tehran as relatives desperately tried to identify their loved ones, slain loved ones. Can't do no more of that. I can't do no more of that. Sorry, you guys. Apologize, but we did have a pre-warning in the beginning of that. I apologize for it if you can't handle it, and I know what's going on here. Just wanted to make sure that we are getting direct information from those people that can provide what information that we can get to see what's really going on in Iran. Want to pray for everybody who lost their lives as well as the families of this tragedy that's going on over there. And Lord, please, can we try to do something immediately? I don't care. Never asked for anything like this, but step in, miracles, something. We need more help than what humanly can be done in this situation. We need the love of the Lord, and we need people to come together. Because again, politics and small things are no comparison to what life, the great gift of life is to us. Amen, you guys. Keep on moving forward, you guys. Let's go over to Washington because we got Trump No, I think we're going to keep on moving forward now. Yeah, we back in Washington. We got Trump that says they want to negotiate, but over 100 reportedly have been killed. But I'm going to tell you guys, as of what we just saw, it's 500 or better. And I honestly think it may be more than that due to the fact that they don't have much internet and communication with the rest of the world. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. If you appreciate the content, in-depth content, work that we're doing, let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. Woo, this is crazy.
We do know Madeline Rivera. Yeah. She is live now with the latest at DC. Maddie.
Good morning, Todd and Carly. President Trump is closely watching the protests in Iran, so much so that he's set to meet with administration officials tomorrow to talk about next steps. The president, who has promised to respond forcefully if Iran resorts to mass violence, suggests the country is close to crossing his red line. The human rights activists' news agency says at least 500 people have now been killed.
These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it. And we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination. Iran wants to negotiate, yes. We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up. But we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting. But a meeting is being set up. Iran called, they want to negotiate.
The Wall Street Journal reports the U.S. options are not limited to just military strikes. Officials are also expected to consider boosting anti-government sources online, deploying secretive cyber weapons against Iranian military and civilian sites, and placing more sanctions on the regime. So far, the Pentagon has not moved any forces in preparation for military strikes, which could be necessary in case Iran does retaliate against U.S. troops in the region.
I know you guys are like, all right, let's get enough. That's enough of Iran, but it's not really because of the fact of what's going on over there. So, yeah, I just wanted you guys to see what was going on because of the fact that it's still human life and tragedy that's going on over there. And we pray for every single family or anybody who has been involved in this situation. Now it's time to get on over back to Washington, over to our neck of the woods. Let's talk about some finances and some money and some business to try to level this off a little bit. If you guys don't mind, we're going to get on over to Trump, where he's talking about making a major move to ban big investors from buying homes, and it seems to already be working as far as in the stock market. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Let's get it going.
Well, we're buying $200 billion worth of bonds, so that's a pretty big deal. You've seen mortgage rates actually go into fives today. That is a huge deal for the American people. So you've got the ban on institutional home buying, plus you got mortgage rates in the 5%. This is a huge week for housing in the country. We've completely changed the narrative on housing, I think, especially after these last 4 years of hell that we've had in the housing market.
The Trump administration touting progress in reforming the housing market. President Trump announced a ban on corporate purchases of single-family homes last week, and he ordered government-backed firms, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, to buy $200 billion in mortgage-backed securities. Mr. Trump took to Truth Social saying, quote, "People live in homes, not corporations."
Good.
Joining us now, Dominic Tavella, President and CIO at Lebenthal Global Advisors. So, for instance, this bond buyback, what does that do for the housing market, Dominic?
Well, it does put downward pressure on mortgage rates. And in fact, we saw about 0.25%, a little less, mortgage rates, 30-year mortgage rate just dropped just under 6%. So it did help. And we're grateful. I mean, anything this administration can do to ease up the regulations and ease up the affordability, we're all in on that. But when we do some quick math on 0.25% drop on a 30-year mortgage, I actually ran the numbers on a $400,000 mortgage. It saved about $70 a month, John. So again, we'll take it. We're thrilled. We'll anything that puts money in our pocket, I'm all for it. But $70 a month does not make that house more affordable.
The president put out that post on Truth Social, "People live in homes, not corporations," and he wants to ban corporate buying of single-family homes. 300,000 homes nationwide, according to our graphic, 300,000 homes nationwide are owned by corporations as investments. Nearly 2% of all U.S. single-family rentals. Because
Yeah, but still that does a thing to the rest of the market, because now you got these corporations that can afford to buy in lump sum because they have all of the money, and then all they got is money coming in. So now they're buying more and more and more and more homes, so it's making it affordable for the regular American citizen to get that White House and the picket fence, because everything is so damn expensive. Like New York, like where we live at here, got to be a millionaire just to have an apartment. The 1 bedroom or studio is how much, you guys? That's right, $2,100 for a 1 bedroom or studio in New York. If you can make it here, woo! You sure can make it anyway. Let's keep on moving forward to the NATO chief, who's asked an alliance will survive the Netherlands and a possible attack from Japan and Russia. You know, I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago to you guys. We're in a lot of people's backyards right now. We're spread pretty thin, I would say, right? What's to say if they all form an alliance and come against us? Do you think that we can deal with something like that? Let's have common sense, and let's go into that category right there and see what the NATO chief is basically about to say about that category right there.
Is the main threat to NATO and to Europe, of course, understandably. We all understand why. What is your comment, approximation on latest statements from Donald Trump, who said that if necessary he will take military action on Greenland? And I'm just going to read it. Commissioner Kubilius from European Commission has said that EU members are obliged to come to Denmark's assistance under EU treaty if faced with military aggression. And as we know, 23 countries of EU are also members of NATO. Gospodine Plenković, including Croatia, yes. Gospodine Plenković, evo isto vaš komentar, molim. Hvala.
Yes, well, on that question, and it is a little bit, I think, repeating my previous reaction, but thank you very much for that important question. And I think what is at core here, and to the core of this question, is that we all make that same analysis, and there is no debate or discussion about that. The analysis is sound and is there that when it comes to the High North, the Arctic region, I was myself visiting Iceland only, I think, 6 or 8 weeks ago, and we also extensively discussed this, and I was in Norway and other visiting all our allies, discussing with the US and with Canada. I was with Prime Minister Carney last week in Paris discussing the importance of the Arctic. So collectively, as an alliance, and particularly, of course, the 7 countries who are bordering on the region, we do make this analysis that the collective defense is crucial. We all see that through changes in weather patterns that sea lanes are opening up. And we have to make sure that we do everything to protect that region. It is a vital part of NATO territory. And that is exactly why, where in the past NATO was not so much involved when it came to the Arctic, that since 2025, on the request by these 7 High North allies who are bordering on the Arctic, that NATO has become more involved. This has led to a few, as I said, very successful discussions within the NATO alliance with our ambassadors in Brussels and our ministers. We discussed this importance, and currently we are working on the next steps to make sure that indeed we collectively protect what is at stake here.
He is thinking that he can be able to protect Greenland in those areas by using NATO only, instead of having, let's just say, United States of America come in with an embassy, a couple more, let's say, Fort this, whatever that, in order to basically really stand tall, bring in weapons, and basically take over the way that they normally do. That's what they're really trying to say in this situation right here. Let's go on over back to President Trump, where he says, he reiterates the call for U.S. to take over Greenland. Told you guys, he's not letting up on this situation.
Who wants to be on it?
One group taking your threat seriously is one area taking your threat, the New York Post.
You treat me fairly well.
The New York Post treats me semi-fairly. So go ahead.
One group taking your threats very seriously is Greenland. Are you still thinking of military action there, or is there anything they can...
Where? Military action?
Greenland. Is there anything they can offer you for a deal?
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will. And I'm not letting that happen. If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will take Greenland.
And watch what he said about NATO. that previous boring clip that you guys didn't like?
And I am not going to let that
Is
happen.
there any deal they can offer you? Either like
Yes, I'd love to make a deal with them. It's easier. But one way or the other, we're going to have Greenland.
Are you okay if that compromises NATO? If NATO effectively ceases to exist in order
to... Great job. I'm the one that saved NATO. I'm the one that got them to pay 5% of GDP. Wait a minute. It was 2%, and they didn't pay. Now they're paying 5%. I'm the one that saved NATO. You wouldn't have NATO if I weren't president.
Would you pull the U.S. out of NATO? Would you consider doing that?
Well, maybe NATO would be upset if I did it. Maybe NATO would save a lot of money. I like NATO. I just wonder whether or not if we needed NATO, would they be there for us? I'm not sure they would. We spend a lot of money on NATO, and I'm not sure they would.
But what would you say?
Now, what's happened is, as you know, Sleepy Joe Biden gave $350 billion to Ukraine and got nothing for it. I got rare earth back. I got, I think, value back far greater than that. And that's what he should have done. Now, if you look at what's going on with respect to NATO, we have a very good relationship. 5% GDP, and they pay us. We send them military equipment, and they pay us back the full cost of the equipment.
So as you can hear, what he's saying is he's really not considering what NATO is talking about, because he's like, if it wasn't for me, there wouldn't really be a NATO. And if it wasn't for me to get them to increase the funding, they wouldn't have the money that they have now. And I don't even know if I can call on them if we need them for protection or help if something goes down. That's a lot. So I don't really think he cares about that preceding video, what he's talking about with Greenland. We got to keep on moving forward, you guys. Let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. I would really appreciate that. Hit that notification bell down there so that you know when we are on. Also, give me all the money in your pockets. Nah, I'm just kidding, because I know it's hard out here for a pimp. So I try not to hit your pockets like that, but I would appreciate it if we can pimp out that like button, hit those 3 dots, boom, hit that notification bell so that you know we're on, and subscribe to the channel or become a member. We're trying to get up to 70,000 subscribers. I think we had 62. We close, y'all. We close. We chugging along. We chugging. Okay, you guys, we got some information from Kristi Noem. Wonder Woman. She details the arrest. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Ice, ice, baby, get them! They're actually starting to use that. I'm so happy that they're actually using the sound and those effects when they're really coming to pick people up now. Because guess what? She's talking about what's happening here in New York. That's right, you guys. New York, you thought that she wasn't gonna come knocking. You're wrong. Here we go.
Here. I'm Kristi Noem, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, and today we're here to talk about an operation that's been going on for several months. In fact, after an incident happened here in New York City that brought us to a point where we recognized that we had to work together in order to bring illegal criminal aliens to justice. Nearly 6 months ago, 2 criminal illegal aliens attacked an off-duty Customs and Border Protection agent and his friend while they were sitting on a rock in a park after hours enjoying the evening together. These 2 criminals came and attempted to rob them, and it ended up where they bravely fought back. This officer defended himself and his friend, but not before being shot in the face and in the arm by one of these criminals. Immediately after, the men and women of the Homeland Security investigations worked with NYPD, leading to the arrest of that gunman in just 2 hours.
What's up,
within
Robert?
28 hours, the second assailant was arrested as well, and those individuals have been brought to justice. But those individuals would have never been in this country if they hadn't been allowed in by the Biden administration.
And what I want to do to put a maraschino cherry on top of that, in some areas, this same people just like that, they're still moving around, still in the neighborhoods, just got a little quieter. They still doing the things that they should not be doing. Just got a little bit quieter and not being reported. And as well, they're getting away with a lot more because of the fact that there's not a lot of police. See it every day. We've already seen it. I could open my window and put the phone outside and you guys would be like, yo, what the? Yeah, it's real out in New York right now, especially in all boroughs too. Can't even alienate one, all boroughs.
When they ignored our federal laws and allowed them to come in illegally. Now, the officer that was injured doesn't seek public attention. He wishes to remain anonymous, but he had a distinguished career and a legacy of service and continues to do so. But his life was forever altered by this heinous crime. His attackers never should have been in this country, and they've been protected and were protected up until that point by sanctuary city policies. In fact, they had long criminal rap sheets and were released by the Biden administration and continued to be released by leaders in this city to perpetuate crimes against the citizens that live here.
Yep.
During our investigation, we learned that these scumbags were affiliated with the transnational criminal organization, the notorious Trinitaris gang in New York.
Tren de Aragua. There you go. There go your alley-oop. Tren de Aragua.
We began to target every single last person that is affiliated with them and recognized that they needed to be brought to justice. The American people deserve dignity, they deserve justice, and we deliver both. So we launched Operation Salvo here in New York City. Operation Salvo was a cooperation of the resources of CBP, HSI, ERO, and also the federal prosecutors from the Southern District of New York. The New York County District Attorney's Office also participated in this operation. We've arrested 54 individuals as a part of Operation Salvo since its inception just a few months ago. Those arrested are violent transnational gang members and affiliates associated with Trinitarios who are responsible for weapons trafficking, for human smuggling, for narcotics distribution, and for armed robberies. They had perpetuated previous violent attacks across the city of New York City. We have already removed not only many of these individuals that we have arrested, but over 60% of them have been returned back to their home countries to face justice for their crimes there as well.
That's good, but I think that they need to get more time when they're over here because they don't get enough when they're here. I need them to be old and gray before they get on their way so they won't have enough energy to get back on the boat. Yeah, let me tell you what my grandfather used to do. Well, I can't tell you guys that because y'all gonna be like, what? Yeah, he used to actually do that, believe it or not. Yeah, he used to get on that boat and make his own boat sometimes and come in through little city, little canals and stuff like that. Sometimes you gotta be your own Harriet Tubman when you get deported. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. We got some more to give you. I got a little more to give you on Venezuela because I know you guys, we feel like we've had enough of all of these other countries of what's going on, but we really got to get into it with this last area that I want you guys to see because of what's going on with the political prisoners that they're describing the torture of Maduro's capture in his world. There's so many people out here, like I said, and I got caught in the clip with it. It basically, where I said, we're listening to politicians. We're listening to, let's say, citizens of the United States of America that really have no understanding of what's going on in Venezuela. But we're really not listening to the people of Venezuela and the people that are over there. That's why I like to make sure that even when it comes down to Epstein, I try to find a survivor's video. And when it comes down to anything that they're talking about, I try to get someone who's actually a victim. Let's get on over to some victims' accounts of the former Venezuelan political prisoners. And they're going to describe I don't even know if I can say that word, the orchard in Maduro's capture. So that's why so many people are happy that he's no longer the president, because under his reign, there were a lot of people suffering.
Now at 6, we begin with the latest in the wake of the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro. President Donald Trump is saying a torture chamber in the Venezuelan capital is being closed. The announcement was made almost 72 hours after Maduro and his wife were captured. Tonight, 2 South Florida men who say they were political prisoners for more than a year are speaking out. Good evening. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Thank you for joining us. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor is your reporter live in Doral. And Yvonne, they said they were repeatedly tortured.
Lauren, we're talking about tortures that they say that they were not only physical, but also mentally. One of these men who now lives in South Florida, a former banker who was locked up for almost 3 years, told me that at one point in time, he thought that he had gone blind because they turned the electricity on him and he spent days without seeing any sunlight.
Helicoide became a symbol of the terror, of the power of the dictatorship.
Roberto Marrero is a former Venezuelan political prisoner. He says he spent 18 months at El Helicoide, according to Amnesty International, a Venezuelan prison where fact-finding missions have documented widespread abuses, including arbitrary detention, enforced disappearances, and torture. It sits on top of a hill in central Caracas, built as a shopping mall in the 1950s. The structure was used in recent decades by Hugo Chavez and Nicolás Maduro against their political adversaries like Marrero.
Putting people in the jail is the only way he finds to stay in the power.
President Donald Trump did not mention it by name. The prison is under his lens.
They have a torture chamber in the middle of Caracas that they were closing up. But these tortured people.
Maduro decided to put me in the jail to disassemble the team.
He says that happened in March of 2019 until August 30th, 2020. He was the chief staff of interim President Juan Guaidó.
Take me into this prison. When you go to bed on the night, your bed, I think, is maybe a king size, no? All my room is inside of your king size bed.
Wow.
Marrero shared with CBS News Miami this video from 2021. He says it was taken from inside of the prison by guards at El Helicoide to a contact from outside.
Torturan físicamente, psicológicamente.
They torture you physically, psychologically, and morally. Eligio Cedeño, a former banker who was sent to El Helicoide in February of 2007 by Hugo Chavez, was released by United Nations intervention in December of 2009.
Básicamente, nunca ve la luz del sol.
Both men are glad Trump is asking to close the prison.
Do you think they will close it? Of course, I believe that they're going to close the Helicoide, and all the political prisons and all the political prisoners are going to be released and free.
So far, the interim government of Delcy Rodriguez, which is supposed to follow the indications of Donald Trump, has given no signal of closing El Helicoide and or releasing political prisoners. But the men that I talked to tell me that it is one thing what the new government says, especially in public, and another one what she does behind closed doors. Evidently, we are following the story and anything linked to Venezuela. We're live at Doral. Ivan Taylor, CBS News, Miami.
I like that report. Thank you so much, Ivan. That's your name, right? Ivan Taylor. I don't know your last name, but guess what? Fantastic reporting right there. If you guys appreciate the content that you're getting now, we're getting a full scope and an understanding of different aspects of what's going on in Venezuela and why so many people are rejoicing and happy. Sorry, I'm not going to listen to the people that are in the United States unless they're family members of Venezuelans that are actually experiencing what's going on. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys, because now we got some breaking news with Washington from Jack Smith. He's going to be testifying publicly before Congress. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Double tap that screen to get those likes up. I got a lot more to get into. Where we at right here? There we go.
There's breaking news from Capitol Hill where former special counsel Jack Smith will appear before the House Judiciary Committee and for a public hearing. MS Now's Michael Schnell is following this for us. What more can you tell us, Michael?
Yeah, so this news coming just within the last 2 hours that, as you mentioned, Jack Smith, the former special counsel who handled those two investigations into President Trump into alleged election subversion during the 2020 election and the mishandling of classified documents, will appear publicly up here on Capitol Hill before the House Judiciary Committee at some point. The two parties are still working out a specific date, but this is a very significant development. We know, as we have just mentioned, that he testified for around 8-hour deposition before the House Judiciary Committee back in December. And then afterwards, we learned that throughout that conversation, Jack Smith a number of times defended his investigation, his final report, and made the case that President Trump was at the center of that plot to overturn the results of the 2020 election. But again, that was a private deposition. We only know what was said because of a transcript that was later released and because of a video that was also released at a later date. But now we are learning that Jack Smith is actually going to be in front of this committee publicly publicly, live, before the cameras to field questions about those two investigations. And now this is significant in a sense because when the House Judiciary Committee started looking into Jack Smith and asking for his testimony, Jack Smith had insisted that he wanted to speak publicly. He wanted to do it before the cameras in a public setting so all could learn and hear his answers. But Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee, led by Jim Jordan, had insisted that he first appear behind closed doors privately to answer questions in that setting. I will note that's typically how it works. You answer questions privately and then they bring it publicly. Now, though, we're hearing from Jim Jordan this morning and his team that Jack Smith will be here in person. Smith's team sounding very happy about this development. I want to read to you a statement that came from his lawyer saying, quote, Jack has been clear for months. He is ready and willing to answer questions in a public hearing about his investigations into President Trump's alleged unlawful efforts to overturn the 2020 election and his mishandling of classified documents. Now, again, we still don't have a date for this hearing, but you could assume that it will be a very big deal up on Capitol Hill. We see some of these Republicans who have been going after Jack Smith for years coming face to face with him before the cameras. It'll certainly be a likely fiery hearing.
I thought that they'd throw that crap out. I mean, I thought they threw that out. I'm not understanding what's going on with that one. Jack Smith, really? What's that, January 11th stuff? All right. Okay, it's still ongoing. You guys do your boy a favor, double tap that screen to get those likes up. One thing I wanted to say is, don't he look a little Abraham Lincoln-ish? And I've never saw a woman named Michael before. Your parents kind of did you dirty. M-Y-C-H-A-E-L. Okay, Michael. Let's keep on moving forward. Now, those are two things that really don't happen in the same instance, you guys. Let's get on over to South Carolina, where my people are from, but not Greenville. They're from Jenkinsville, or Winsboro, or Columbia, or Myrtle Beach. Anybody got any family in the South? Let's get on over to Greenville, where the police says this police officer's out of the hospital after Sunday morning. There was an Ilsnam bush where a man drove up besides the car, blow, blow, charring the side of the entire vehicle. This Greenville police officer, he's out of the hospital after this situation here. And lucky he's alive. I don't know if his window was open or not. I'm not sure, but this is pretty crazy. And yes, no little ones, no, I don't want anyone that cannot really view graphic content right here because it's pretty strong content right here. Let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. No one else is showing this one right here. This is basically like an exclusive from us.
Tonight, let's get to that new video released showing the moment a man ambushed a Greenville police officer. The officer is recovering tonight. The coroner says the suspect took his own life. Taylor Farmer has this story.
Video shared with us by the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division shows the moment Greenville police say 42-year-old David William Lane ambushed an officer who was seated inside a patrol car at the Law Enforcement Center off McGee Street near downtown Greenville. Police say the shooting took place just before 2 o'clock Sunday morning. The officer's patrol car left with extreme damage, heavily charred and marked by large bullet holes. The officer, who called to report his own injuries, was taken to the hospital, later released, and is now recovering at home with family.
Very glad to say that officer is doing well and continues to be treated, but we ask that you certainly keep him in your prayers, as well as the men and women of the Greenville City Police Department.
The Greenville County Sheriff's Office says a brief chase followed that initial attack, and we're told there was an exchange of gunfire before the chase ended near the intersection of Independence Boulevard and Ponders Court, about 5 miles from the Law Enforcement Center near Roper Mountain Road.
Cause of death is going to be a single gunshot wound to the head. The manner of death will be real suicide.
The Greenville County Coroner's Office says Lane was pronounced dead shortly before 4:30 Sunday morning.
It's almost impossible for us to tell when the gunshot occurred. It's going to be extremely close to when the vehicle was rammed because we have blood products on an airbag, which would indicate the airbag may have been deployed before he shot himself.
Ellis says Lane was not struck by any other gunfire and he did not sustain any injuries related to the crash of his vehicle. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office has released to us a statement telling us they were, quote, familiar with David Lane after receiving multiple complaints from neighbors on January 1st and January 2nd regarding concerning comments and behavior. Deputies responded to and investigated each complaint and determined that while the comments and behavior were concerning, they did not award criminal warrants for an arrest. Out of an abundance of caution, the sheriff's office says they coordinated with the Huntington Downs apartment complex where Lane lived to provide off-duty security for resident safety. That began January 8th. A neighbor stated they frequently saw Lane, but claimed he usually left his apartment only in the early mornings before sunrise and in the evenings after dark. The neighbor says they also saw him leave Saturday evening.
He looked crazy.
Video footage captured Lane leaving his residence before
That fool walking like Michael Myers or Jason right there.
he's believed to have gone to the law enforcement center. At this time, investigators will continue working to learn more about Lane, his background, and his motive. In Greenville County, Taylor Farmer, 7 News.
Terrible situation right there. I'm glad that the officer is basically safe and he's not hurt, but we still, like they said, want to pray for him as well as the Greenville Police Department, all police departments, because you never know. You know, they have a really rough job out there, you guys. Amen. Let's double tap that screen to get those likes up, to get these stories out so more people can know what we got going on. Haven't subscribed to the channel? What are you waiting for? Hit that notification bell down there so that you know we're on. We're about to do another spotlight, like maybe today at 6 o'clock. Do a Q&A or something. Let's get on over to the Canary Islands, where the Spanish police seized 10 tons of, I can feel it, that Hunter Biden. That's right, you guys, 10 tons in the Canary Islands. And guess where they was trying to hide it at? Inside of some salt. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Double tap that screen, get those likes up. It's on, y'all. Y'all go trip on this one. The Spanish police are seizing tons of, that white stuff, that cocoa. I'm in love with the cocoa. And they pulling it out some salt that was being shipped. Now the footage is showing the police officers using shovels and digging with their hands to remove the cocoa from beneath the salt, and then forming a line to move the bales. Not keys, homeboy. They had bales. You're talking about, I gotta use how Jadakiss said it, you gotta use the scales that they weigh the whales with. Yeah, man, they got bales over here. Woo! Carlton's on the Jeep. This was the Spanish police's largest ever D-rug seizure on the high seas. Woo! Jesus Christ, 10 tons? Somebody's mad. The U.S. is getting a fresh supply. A ton is the size of an elephant. What you say, Audrey? What? I mean, they done took this whole ship. They turning it. They have full control. I'm assuming, please guys, if I'm correct or not, but I'm assuming that these tugboats right here are the ones that's basically controlling this ship at this point. Because we saw when they was taking the captain and everybody off. It seems like they have strings and lines tied up to try to get it as close to the land as possible. Santa Cruz. The intercepted vessel was carrying around 10 tons of cocoa concealed in the shipment of salt en route to Brazil or Europe. Got him. Oh, in this case, and they don't play with them over there. Oh, you ain't gonna see them cursing out no Army Spanish guard or cursing them out or saying, get your D hands off of me, or these cuffs hurt. Oh, them cuffs hurt? Tuku, tuku. Exactly. They play a little different over there. Oh, he got crazy and reached for it. You're not messing with these dudes. They're not playing. Somebody said Hunter's in love with the cocoa. Y'all see the operation? They're not playing. They're going low, 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 low for the go, 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 go. DEA, intelligence. That's a good try to hide it there, right? We've struck gold. There's like 30 people in there. What's going on? Yo. Yo, Hunter would have been in there like this. Have him in there like, I'm in love with the cocoa. But you know what we call Hunter Biden around these parts? We call him Hunter, I can feel it. Biden, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, somebody hot about that right there, y'all. Somebody's kind of burnt up when it come down to that. Let's keep on moving forward. Double tap that screen to get those likes up, because now we got to get on over to Washington, where Tom Homan rips the Democrats over an anti-ICE rhetoric in the Minneapolis, talks about the pow-powing and saying that they were complicit. Uh-oh, here you go, your uncle, somebody that we haven't saw in a little while, Tom Homan.
Now is White House border czar Tom Homan. Tom, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Immediately after the shooting, you said that it would be unprofessional to comment on what I think happened in that situation. Let the investigation play out and hold people accountable based on that investigation. Since that time, we've seen a lot more evidence come out, including cell phone video from the officer who shot Renee Good. What is your assessment now?
Look, you know, when I did that interview, I went straight from an airplane, tarmac, straight to that interview. So when someone shows me one video, cherry-picked video, and asks me to comment, I just think it was inappropriate for me to do so. But look, since then I've looked at a bunch of videos, and I truly believe that officer thought his life was in danger to take that action. Now look, we won't let the investigation play out. You know, there's a lot of things that we all don't know. There's probably a lot of video we haven't seen, but the FBI has, even ring video. What's the statement from the officer? What's the statement from the witnesses? What's ballistics? Ballistics, you know, I'm sure they're looking at ballistics and the forensics. There's a lot of information needs to come out, so I'm still going to say, let's stop the hateful rhetoric. You can't compare this to murder. Murder requires malice, and that is just dangerous to put that type of language out. Let the investigation play out and see where it lies.
The DHS Secretary Kristi Noem concluded pretty quickly that this was a domestic terrorism incident. She said that while the scene was still being processed, and said the dead woman was part of a left-wing disruption scheme. You know, with those statements, why should federal authorities be the ones investigating? It almost sounds like there's nothing left to investigate.
Look, it's a federal crime to impede and interfere with an ICE officer. And I think, look, it's a coordinated attack. We can see what's happening throughout the country. I think it's a funded, organized attack against ICE officers. And what really irritates me is the left wants to play this game that ICE, you know, they're not law enforcement officers. They are federal law enforcement officers. Impeding them and interfering them is a crime. No one would be arguing if, you know, if we're arresting people that interfere with DEA before, you know, arresting a drug dealer or a U.S. Marshal in attempts to arrest a fugitive. If someone stood in your way, that's a crime and you'd be arrested. But it seems like they want to, you know, they normalize, the media is normalizing interference with ICE. It is a crime to impede ICE officers. Bill Maloogian just put out a list of 18 of the worst of the worst in Minneapolis, many of them child sex crimes, child rape, child sodomy. These are the people we're looking for. For anybody to interfere in that is unconscionable. We need.
Yeah, you guys, I got a question for you. I want to know right now. We're going to do some Q&A real quick. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you guys feel as if when let's say when ICE agents are out and about? Thank you so much for the $5. Good morning, fam. Thank you for standing up for the law and order. We deserve to be safe, and our criminals should be out of America. Let's get that right. Who said that? That's Jordan Dowdy. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So much appreciated, you guys. But I want to ask a question right now. I want to know, do you feel as if people are interfering with federal operations or with ICE agents when they go out and they obstruct and they yell in their faces and they take their camera phones out and they say, get out of here? Do you look at that as impeding with ICE agents and Homeland Security? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you see that that is impeding. If you do not see that it's impeding, give me a thumbs down. If you look at it like, well, it's a free America, we can do whatever we want as long as we're not committing a crime. Thank you so much, Eric Chavez. I thank you so much for the $5 super chat. If you think so, impeding, you're going to give us a thumbs up. If you do not feel that they're impeding and they're able to be out there with their phones and doing whatever they want to do, getting in front of vehicles and impeding, that's what we're going to say. Give me a thumbs down, or you don't think it's impeding. I'm sorry. It's a thumbs down. Thumbs up if you feel like it's impeding. We've got thumbs down, and that's coming from Romeo. Okay, Romeo, you got one. You're the only one. We've got another person coming in with a thumbs down. Jonathan Burks, you got another thumbs down. Okay, we got another one coming in from X in the Glass. Okay, you're a glove owner and you got a thumbs down. I would like to know your point and why you feel that way, because I love to know different perspective. I'm just like that. I would love to know, because it may even change my perspective a little bit. Who else we got over here? Okay, we got a few people that they have thumbs down, but I got to be honest with you guys, 90% of the people here have thumbs up and they feel like it's impeding and you're getting in the way of a law-abiding, a law operation. For sure it is, says many other people. What good when Peach and Trump and J.D. Vance would takes over the... Okay, we're going to keep on moving forward, you guys. Let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. I got an idea what you guys feel, and I just got to tell you, and the fact of the matter that we're all individuals, I love it, but I agree with you guys. How about that? I agree with the thumbs ups. Sorry, I just do. Unless the thumbs down can explain some sort of way that really makes it look different, I don't think I can look at it a different way, because I understand protesting, but when you're taking out your phone and you're getting all in the way of stuff and like not letting vehicles pass, it's kind of like you're trying to entice them to do something to you, is my regard. And we don't have to agree 100%. That's why we made this platform, to basically find the root of what's going on. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys, because we've got Senator Graham, who says several senators are voting to advance the bill that's limiting President Trump's on his powers. Check this out, you guys. Let's see if this actually has a chance to happen.
The Senate is expected to take up a final vote on the War Powers Resolution this week, with only a simple majority vote needed to pass. Joining me now ahead of all of that is South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you for being here. And I want to get your reaction to what we just heard from Reza Pahlavi. But first, can you tell me about this war resolutions? Why is the Senate trying to clip President Trump's wings at a time that the world is getting more dangerous? We just saw what's going on right now in Iran.
The War Powers Act was passed in 1973 by a bunch of liberal Democrats. It's a power grab by the Congress against the commander-in-chief. Every president since 1973 has rejected the idea that Congress can substitute our judgment for theirs. So what these five are good friends, they're creating a situation where you have 535 commander-in-chiefs, not one. There's never been a court case in the history of the country where a military operation was terminated by the Supreme Court because Congress didn't approve. There have been 130 military operations by the commander-in-chief without congressional approval. So here's my point. You're creating a disaster for the country. If a member of Congress doesn't like what the president's doing as commander-in-chief militarily, cut off funding for that operation. We have power of the purse. You can do that. If you think the president doing something illegally, you can impeach him. But we can't have a situation where Congress becomes commander-in-chief. That would be a disaster. This is an unconstitutional power grab. To my colleagues, you're doing a lot of damage. You're emboldening our enemies. You're restricting President Trump. Unconstitutionally sound, doing a lot of damage. Stop it.
Senator, over the weekend, you tweeted about
Can I have one thing, one last thing?
Yes.
I've been a military lawyer for 33 years. I was a judge, advocate in the Air Force. I was a prosecutor, defense attorney, military judge. I feel comfortable talking about this. What you're doing is wrong. Go ahead.
Senator, over the weekend, you tweeted to the Iranian leadership, the Khomeini regime. You said, if you hurt the people, if you kill protesters, this will not go unchallenged. What are you saying? Do you want America to go into Iran and take out the Ayatollah?
I don't want a military invasion of Iran. I don't want any boots on the ground. But President Trump has chosen wisely to be with the protesters. He's the first president since 1979 to pick the people over the Ayatollah. President Trump says, if you continue to kill your people, all hell will break out, all hell to pay. That's as strong as when Reagan said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
We got to keep on moving forward, you guys. Yes, it was getting hot in there, but we don't want to go back to the preceding stories because we got to keep on going down in the order in which we did the sequence. Let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. I told you, we had a lot to get into. Y'all know how we get down over here. Double tap that screen, get the likes up. If you have not subscribed, I would really appreciate that. That's more important than money. Let's get to that 70,000 subscriber mark by the end of the month. Let's do it, you guys. Where we at? Minnesota? We got these ICE agents. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. ICE, ICE, baby. Get them. Meaning, get the hell out of the way. What are you doing? Get out of the way. What do you guys think about this? Let's say, for instance, you got the cars pulling up. You're trying to get to a specific house. You're an ICE agent. You got your face all covered up and you're trying to make sure that nobody's bothering you. All of a sudden, you get this one guy with a camera. Hey, what's going on over here? And he blocks the car. What are you trying to drive through? Do you A, run his ass over? Nah, you don't do that. B, beep, 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 beep. Or C, do what this ICE agent did. What do you guys think about this one right here? Where is it at right there? Don't try to hide from me. I'm not playing around. I'm showing them this. Let's go, you guys. I got to get the screen open. Are y'all ready? Here we go. This is the guy trying to impede ICE agents. Do you think his actions are wrong? Yeah, actions being wrong, actions are right. Wrong actions, right actions. His actions were correct, Bugatti. His actions were incorrect, Bugatti. Let's go.
I got both of them. Hey! I got both of them. Hey! What the f is wrong with you? Hey! I got both of them. Hey! Let's do this right now. I got both of them. Hey! I got both of them. Hey!
He pushed them down like, you can't see it. It's electric. I'll teach you the electric slide. Whew, they need to put that music to it. You can't feel it. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. You can't feel it. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie with the Candyman. Feeling it everywhere. Get the hell out the way. What are you standing there with that camera for? I'm telling you, they need to just have the music going in the background. You can't feel it. As soon as he connect with him, whoop, it's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. That'll be a perfect meme right there. Double tap that screen, get those likes up. I want to know what you guys think about that. Let's keep on moving forward. Yeah, I tried to break it up a little bit, get a little bit of laughter going. We got to get on over to Minnesota because basically they're saying it is ground zero for fraud, waste, and abuse. Let's hear what James Comer has to say about this situation, y'all.
The House Oversight Committee is conducting its own investigation into the fraud and may issue subpoenas to Governor Tim Walz and others to appear before the committee. Joining us now for tonight's Big Close-Up is House Oversight Committee Chairman, Congressman James Comer. Congressman, thank you for joining us tonight. We have a lot of questions for you, starting with this. Minnesota Democrats have agreed to appear before your February 10th hearing, or have they agreed to do so, or do you feel like you're going to have to subpoena them? And, looking at that shouting match you had, how confident are you at getting anyone to comply? Well, if they don't agree to come, we're going to subpoena them. And both Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison both served in Congress. They know what a congressional subpoena is.
Yeah.
And I think they know that the whole Republican conference is serious about people showing up for fraud hearings. And if they don't, they're going to be held in contempt of Congress. And that's not going to end well for them with the Department of Justice on the ground currently, not just investigating, but prosecuting and arresting people on the ground as we speak for massive amounts of fraud within the
Y'all
Somali
already see them on the
population.
ground.
Chairman Comer, I think all of us are probably pretty much of the mindset that Minnesota is the tip of a very, very large iceberg.
Yep.
Many other states lining up saying, hey, we probably have a little fraud here too. Maybe take a little look at some of our leaders and what's going on. Ohio being one that's floated. I can't imagine what it looks like in New York and California. What's next? Are we going to get some oversight into some other states soon?
We're hoping more whistleblowers will come forward. That's why we've had success in Minnesota identifying this fraud. You had some brave state employees who just finally got fed up with years and years of warning Tim Walz and Keith Ellison about massive amounts of fraud within the social programs in Minnesota and them not doing anything in the governor's office or attorney general's office. Finally, some state employees came forward. We need that in other states, and I'm publicly asking for state employees in other states where there's massive amounts of fraud. I don't care if it's Republican fraud or Democrat fraud, Somali fraud or American fraud. It doesn't matter. We want to get serious about identifying waste, fraud, and abuse, eliminating it, and holding people accountable who are committing that fraud. And let me say something about Minnesota. 86% of the Somali population is on Medicaid in Minnesota. That's free health care. Everybody that's complaining about their free health care, about their excessive health care premiums, when so many people get it for free, somebody has to pay for that free health care. And one of the things that we fought over in the big beautiful bill was trying to tighten the eligibility requirements up for Medicaid. Minnesota's social programs, from Medicaid to the SNAP benefits, everything is just unbelievably invaded with massive amounts of fraud, and
they went to a quiet city, a quiet state, bum rushed it, took over, brought in all of their people, started to basically leech off of programs, leech off of funding. Oh, we're sick, we're human beings, you gotta help us. And what do? Gave it all to them. 86% of an entire population of people is on food, is on assistance. You know that there's something going on over there that's not correct. You guys, do me a favor and double tap that screen to get those likes up, because now, what y'all want to do? You want to be ballers, shot callers, brawlers, who be dipping in the bins with the spoilers, on the low from the Jakes and the Taurus, trying to get your hands on some brands like Horace. Yeah, living the raw deal. 3-course meal, spaghetti, fettuccine, and veal. Yeah, let's go, y'all. Let's keep on moving forward, because yes, none other than P. Diddy. He has a request from President Trump saying, could you do your boy a favor and let me out this jail? Please let me out. Wrote a letter asking the president, could you go ahead and see if you see your way fit to drop these charges on me and let me out with a pardon? Guess what? Didn't work. President Trump's basically not going forward, and he's saying, I don't think so. And you know why? I'll show you why right after this.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Well, not anymore. After more than a year in prison, Diddy has asked the White House for a pardon, and Donald Trump is shutting him down.
I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years.
Yeah, that's according to the president himself, who spoke to the New York Times on Wednesday, explaining the request came in a letter. Details of the alleged letter haven't been divulged, but Trump did say he's not planning to commute the mogul sentence. He didn't say why, but it's a move the president has been thinking about for months. Here's what he told reporters during Diddy's marathon trial in May.
He used to really like me a lot. I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact.
News of the rejected pardon coming about a month after Diddy's legal team filed.
So I don't know if he feels like he's innocent from what he's saying. And then you said he doesn't think he likes him. He doesn't like him.
to appeal his sentence and conviction.
What we feel happened today was that the judge acted as a 13th juror,
Yes,
one
he
that
did.
we did not choose, and that he second-guessed the jury's verdict. We think that that is unconstitutional.
It'll take months for the court to.
Someone says, absolutely, he is not a good man. That came from, who was that? Questions. We've got Jay Cricket that says Trump knows he's guilty. He guilty now. We got Terry that says Trump doesn't believe Diddy's innocent. Ooh, there you go, Terry. Liberty and Justice says tap that like button so we can get up to 400 likes. Let's get it going, you guys. Check this out. Let's go.
Consider, and at this point, Diddy won't be free until 2028, just ahead of his 59th birthday.
Damn.
We are not nearly done fighting, and we're going to win, and we're not going to stop until he walks out of prison a free man to his family.
I don't have any complaints, and I'm just truly blessed to be able to, to be able to wake up this morning. And that's the way I honestly feel. But, I put it in God's hands.
He puts it in God's hands, but you know what? Let's bring it back to your hands when you were the man sitting next to the goddamn man that called President Trump a racist. And this is the real reason why I believe this is the real reason why Trump is not trying to pardon Diddy. We went all over the internet to try to find this. I already knew about it. But sometimes you got enough money to scrub the internet by going to Getty or certain companies that you pay. Hey, can you get rid of that image? And if you got enough money, like a certain celebrity, you'll go scrub those videos. But sometimes, if you're a researcher like myself, you'll just keep on hunting and hunting and hunting until you find the content that you needed. This is the reason why I think that President Trump was not going to pardon Diddy.
Remember that Sean Puff Daddy Combs was saying that men like Trump need to be banished in 2020. Isn't that interesting?
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war. White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. When you look at it, we don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Biden. I can't say I love to pick either, but hey, we got to get him in office.
It's all making sense.
Ain't it making sense? That's what it makes sense to me about. Sometimes you got to do that research, and I'm sure Trump knows all about that. Somebody refreshed his memory like, hey, you remember this? Oh yeah, you know what, that motherfucker did say that shit about me. Fuck him. Let him do what he got to do. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Keep your head up. Don't do it. Double tap that screen, get those likes up, you guys. What was that? At least he was a sketchy about Biden too. Yeah, right. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. We got to get on over to Suffolk County because this homeowner has been locked up for having a house full of rats. Yes, a house full of them. The white ones, the nasty ones, the funky ones. They were found in the walls as well as living throughout the home. Over 300 in the walls. You guys, put your phone down. Don't even touch it. You're not even going to want to touch your phone. I can't believe I'm playing this video. But guess what? I have to. It happened. It's in Suffolk County, and it's going down.
Hope the sight of rats does not freak you out, because we're going to bring you a very disgusting case of animal hoarding right
Yeah, we're talking an entire home in Suffolk County completely overrun by hundreds of rats that were being kept as pets. And if you don't like the sight of rats, you may want to look away during this next story.
Officials found the rats running rampant throughout the home. In the end, police arrested the 48-year-old homeowner, but now they're trying to figure out what to do with all the animals.
Seriously, what do you do with all the animals? Long Island reporter Shantae Lance is live in Rocky Point. Shantae?
Well, listen, David, at least 300 domesticated rats are believed to be inside this home. Volunteers say...
Shantae brave. See, she in the street, right? And also, you also see she's a sister, right? Shantae, like, look here, I do this damn coverage. I got no problem going in the field, but I ain't say nothing about no field rats. Y'all gonna put me in the middle of the street. I don't want no footage of being inside of there at all. I'm gonna be in the middle of the street. Y'all want me to do this show. Let's keep on moving forward. You guys double tap that screen, get those likes up.
100 to 200 of them alone are inside the walls.
Oh my God.
From spilling out of the kitchen cabinets to overrunning every inch of the floor. Pet rats.
Hi, little stinker.
Hundreds of them.
Stinker.
Running amok inside this Rocky Point home.
It's a disaster inside. It's very hard to...
This property is protected by highly trained rats. Ooh, woo!
breathe. You need, masks. You need gloves. It's just a bad situation.
Frankie Floridia and other volunteers with Strong Island Animal Rescue have been capturing as many rats as they can to send to a vet to get proper care and checked out.
A lot of them are injured. A lot of them have huge wounds. Their eyes are coming out.
How about you kill it? Okay, that's enough for me. You over here wanting to save wounded Rill's gnats. And we got somebody in the comments talking about, oh, they're actually cute. Shit, I know how to deal with it. Just like Robin Harris said, what do you mean? We don't got nobody to pull a switch. Robin Harris said, shit, I'll pull a switch. 2 at a time. Get on over there. Won't even take no lunch break. Bzz, gotta go. Just like me. You send in about 14 tomcats. Those are the ones that are highly, busy. They get busy because they like to tear. They like to tear it up. The ones with the stripes, those, they're the #1 domestic iller when it comes to animals. Don't believe me? Look it up. They ill more than lions. They more than cats. More than dogs. Cats kill more animals and mice than any other domesticated animal. Don't think I'm telling the truth? Look it up, because I was surprised. I started doing research on it. Had a cat in a barn with like 16 rats around it, just dead. I'm telling you, that's how they get down. They don't play around. Keep on moving forward to another rat that nobody likes. We're going over to Ratatouille Jeffrey Epstein real quick. Talk about a situation where his brother is ordering a bombshell autopsy to prove that he was eliminated. Let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. Woo! Glad we out of that rat hole. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Let's go.
The Epstein files, we've had so much with Venezuela, and then the execution of an unarmed American citizen by ICE. But the Epstein files are still lurking, and there are deadlines being missed and new information that's coming out. And something that I've heard it before, but Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, says that he was murdered. And then in February, we're going to have a new autopsy report that shows that. So this came up, and this is a bombshell after all these years. We find out from News Nation that Mark Epstein refers to a new autopsy report that will prove his brother was murdered. And then if you go into the body of the article, he has hired a former New York City chief medical examiner to
basically says Jeffrey was murdered, and more autopsy facts will be coming out in February that prove it. Mark told me, citing a mysterious report that he claimed will be released within weeks. Mark, who identified his brother's body and later hired Dr. Baden, a well-known forensic pathologist and former New York City chief medical examiner, to observe the autopsy, claims the injuries he witnessed to the body didn't correspond to the way his body was found hanging. Double tap that screen, get those likes up. Please subscribe to the show, to the channel, and already become a member, you guys. Come on, let's get it going. Thank you so much for the $3 super chat. Tell everybody, let's thank, who's that, question everything? That's right, we question everything for the $3 super chat. We appreciate you.
Conduct a new autopsy. Those results will be released in February. And I think this is a really important update because Mark Epstein has been saying this, and you've seen the doctored footage, and you've seen every single person that we've asked on this podcast and at large, do you think Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide? The answer is no. And Jennifer, just a quick reminder, who was president when Jeffrey Epstein was murdered and in charge of the Department of Justice? Well, that was Donald Trump. and Bill Barr. So I think this is going to ignite again the conversation about, we want to see the videos of how Epstein died.
I mean, this is the whole ball game. I mean, I remember when he died, and I remember, like, I wasn't super into following all of the Epstein stuff, but I remember I was more following all of Trump's, fuckery and Trump 1.0. And I remember saying to my husband, don't you think probably that DOJ did it? Like, how could he commit suicide? Like, how could that happen?
Ooh, we got some conspiracy theories going on over here, you guys. I don't know. Let's keep on moving forward because, I like to peel the onion back, get a victim's accounts as much as possible. Well, we got some victims' accounts over here where I want to refresh your minds because this is the manipulation of what in which Jeffrey Epstein could bring a person to. I could never see myself or anyone that I know doing something like what he did, and doing what he did, especially how horrific it was. But they do say that hurt people hurt people. Who's that right there? That's Teddy Marcello. Thank you, 07, for the $2 super chat. Her case of TDS is bad. Yeah. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. I want you guys to see this situation right here. This is one of the actual victims, and it just shows what manipulation can make you do. She actually says that she brought Jeffrey Epstein herself over 50 girls. This is what a survivor said. Let's keep on moving forward. She turned into a recruiter almost.
Did you always know you'd been sexually abused?
No, for a long time I battled with that. For a long time I didn't identify myself as a victim because I willingly went to Jeffrey over and over again. But over time, just, when maturity sets in and you become an adult and a woman and you have kids yourself, you just look back and you realize that you were definitely a victim and you were preyed on. And yeah.
I'm really good at this because I came up in, hell with it, I'm going there. I'm really good at this because I came up in the 70s, and in New York, in certain areas, they used to have shooting galleries. You used to always see people like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about dude to be lean on me. He'll be leaning all the way down to the concrete and never fall. I am really easy and fast to tell when somebody's on something. So I don't even care about the allegedly on this. I'm going there. This person right here definitely was on something that had to do with Hill's Heron, that's right, you guys, Heron, the lower. And you can also see that there's possibly still some traces there because even when you've been on certain D-rugs for a certain amount of time, you can't just escape the look of it. You can try to clean up, you can get yourself together, and a lot of these people, instead of using D-rugs, they buy a lot of jewelry to compensate, to show that they're not on D-rugs anymore. Other ones, they do different things to compensate. A lot of them get fat and swollen up because they're not taking the D-rugs anymore. A lot of them look different, but from what I know in the history of what I've seen, this person right here definitely looks like she was on something before. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. And she still has traces of the end of the sentencing, that misty eye that goes down, that just gives it all away.
What was Jeffrey Epstein's skill as a manipulator? How did he get you to come back? As you say willingly.
Mm-hmm.
The money for the D-rugs. You keep on going to Jeffrey, you get money to go get the D-rugs, so you keep on bringing the girls back because you want D-rugs.
But you were drawn into his web. So how did Jeffrey Epstein manipulate you? How did he get you to come back?
Diggity
I
digs,
think it all
you funny.
Started with...
But God bless you.
For one, it was just a different world. He offered me an unrealistic world. Where I came from a lower income household. I didn't have a personal chef, and I didn't have all the things that he offered me. And when I went to his house, he did pay me each time I went. So it was the money aspect of it. And then it was just the unrealistic fairy tale world to go hang out on Palm Beach Island
in a mansion and just get away from my everyday life. Did he offer you any sort of hope of a future?
No, don't lie. Don't lie.
He didn't make any promises as if he was going to do anything for me, but he always made the impression on me that I was very lucky to be in his presence and that if I ever needed anything, he was there for me. Like he was my saving grace.
Why does she give me that face of that girl, that little, she used to be a child actor and now she has her own television show. She has the face of that little bit. I forgot the name of her show, but she reminds me of that actress so much. You guys know who I'm talking about. Every time I do that, one of you guys will pop out because you definitely rock with me and you know what I'm talking about. Who was the daytime television show person that looks like her, but she has curly hair. She's very spicy. What is her name? What is her, not iCarly, Drew Barrymore. That's why I rock with y'all. Now, whoever said Drew Barrymore, am I right a little bit? Am I right a little bit? Do you get it? Look at all of y'all saying it though. Y'all are saying the name for me, I know, but I want to know, does it seem like she's giving you a little bit of Barrymore going on there? Thank you so much for the name though.
Or, you know, he was
Look,
helping
100%,
me.
I see it, see?
When you consider the world where you came from at that age, how important was it to have somebody who offered you that, who
So is Drew Barrymore or something? Let me stop y'all.
you felt you could trust? It was so important, and I literally held him up on a pedestal, Jeffrey. I held him up on a pedestal. I just felt like he was saving my life. He was helping me just because of the neighborhood I grew up in when I met him, and my situation where I was practically homeless, living with friends. And Jeffrey gave me a stable income, excuse me, a stable income, and he just, you know, he made me feel safe. He made me feel like if I ever needed anything, that he would be there for me. And that was something I didn't have at that time from anybody. So I definitely fell back on that and relied on him. And it was an exchange of him molesting me, you know, for him financially helping me. So the cost of what he gave you was to be sexually abused. Right. And that was a trade that you accepted? I think, yeah, it was definitely a trade that I accepted without... It happened all so fast. It wasn't anything that I was...
She goes on to say that she brought him girls. She said she brought him over 50 girls, and that's where that wound up at. I wanted you guys to see what's happening because hurt people, and sometimes people that have been victimized, for some reason they always can find each other and people to victimize and try to prey on them. That's why I want us to be very knowledgeable of the people that are around us, because they can inflict pain on other people. Let's say they're the cousin, the aunt, the niece. Be careful and watch out for those little cousins. Look out for that nephew right there as well, because you're the only one in that family that can look out for that kid. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys, and double tap that screen to get those likes up. I love to get stories out there for more than one reason, and that's why we're #1. That's right, and we want to pray for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein still. We want to pray for her as well and all of the people that she actually brought over there and manipulated into dealing with him and any sort of tactics that they were doing. Amen. And when it comes down to the question of why did she go over there, stupid question. She's on D-Rugs. He's giving her money. Perfect exchange. He gets what he wants and she gets what she wants. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys, over to Long Island, New York. That's right. And if I can make it there, I'll make it. Anywhere, it's up to you. New York, New York. Let's go, you guys. We got to go on over to Long Island. We're following up with a story. This one happened on a crime late night on Christmas Eve. There's now a proposed new bill that would require businesses to turn over crime surveillance footage immediately instead of waiting like they did in that last situation that happened to the person that lost their lives in the CVS event.
There is a push to penalize private businesses in New York that fail to quickly turn over surveillance footage after a crime. It comes after an employee was murdered at a CVS on Long Island on Christmas Day, and police faulted the company for hampering an arrest. Carolyn Gussoff has more now on the intensifying debate.
As the memorial grows for CVS store employee EPSTEIN, there's a new push to get security footage of crimes like this one into police hands faster. On Christmas, when John Palacio allegedly stabbed the 23-year-old to death, the transfer took 18 hours.
I'm shocked and appalled by it. Quite frankly, the video shouldn't have been held for 18 minutes, let alone 18 hours.
There's no excuse given what happened. And
people do little stick-ups and little robberies and petty theft. When you go in Walmart, they rewind the video faster than that. What?
They were trying to find
They're trying to make sure that they're cleared and not getting any trouble for anything.
somebody that could have, harmed somebody else. Time was of the essence.
A new bill in Albany aims to prevent future delays. Named for Cine, it would require businesses to release security footage without a warrant or subpoena within 24 hours of a serious crime. Assemblyman Kwani O'Farrell is the bill's sponsor.
This individual could have went off and continued his crime spree. This individual could have hopped on a plane and went to another country.
But CVS says it was completely cooperative in less than 24 hours and showed us this previously unreleased photo of a police officer viewing store surveillance video at 7 p.m., 12 minutes after the murder. Adding it took overnight to download what police requested, 1 to 2 hours from 30 cameras. Quote, from the moment police arrived, we provided them with everything they wanted in a timely manner with urgency. The officers were shown the video in the store immediately and took recordings, which helped them identify the suspect. Lawyers for the family.
Anything could be downloaded with the snap of a finger. I don't buy it. The family doesn't buy it.
You're trying to capture someone before they harm someone else. It's an emergency situation that mandates immediate access. And
I see what they're trying to do now to make sure that they get that footage and that content to people as fast as possible when it comes down to private businesses. I think there could be a misunderstanding going on right there, standing back looking in. I think they just really need to understand, because looking at the time codes, what's provided, and the fact that sometimes a lot of the detectives, I've seen it myself, working at buildings and doing building management, you might have a purse snatching up the street, police come to the building, you mind giving us the footage? A lot of the times they have one of those, they have a flash drive with them. They'll bring, I gorilla glued two together. So they'll have a flash drive with them, and they'll put it in and they'll just drag it. They'll know how to do it and everything, no matter what. So they'll put the content on the flash drive most of the time, and then they'll try to give it to detectives or whatever. But in the meantime, from what they're telling us, they wanted all of the content from 18 different cameras. I could see that taking a little while. Let's keep on moving forward, double tap that screen, because you got to think about it. Lazy manager, still got to work in the store, still got certain stuff to do. Never know what could come out of that. Let's keep on going forward right now, because a man got powed in the face and another in his back inside of Brooklyn Deli. That's right, you guys. Brooklyn's in the house. Brooklyn strikes again. We staying in New York for a little while. Let's go. Let's get into it, you guys.
Night police are still searching for the answers behind a double shooting inside of a Flatbush deli. News 12's Morgan Scott was on the scene for hours today and brings us the latest tonight.
Alex Deli Grocery on Flatbush Avenue.
Flatbush, the middle of the war zone. Woo!
Became the center of commotion Friday evening. Police rushed to the scene to find that 2 men had been shot inside. For many people in the neighborhood, the heavy police presence wasn't the biggest surprise.
This is Flatbush after all. You know, this is commonplace and it's really a sad fact.
Police say a 24-year-old man was shot in his face and a 26-year-old was shot in his back. Despite neighborhood talk about the deli being known to draw in a certain young crowd, they say things have never gone this far.
It was a matter of time before something went haywire.
Witnesses say they saw a man exit the store and get in a private vehicle shortly after the shooting. Police say both victims were transported to the hospital by EMS.
4 shots, 5 shots I heard, yeah. There was people running on the streets outside, so I thought it was outside. And the neighborhood need policing, more policing. It might not be enough. A lot of cases might go to the judge if these guys back on the street days after.
The United Bodegas Association was here on the scene to speak out about the horror happening inside. They currently have a $5,000 reward for anyone with information.
The commissioners should have a liaison that can work with us and give us the information we need to keep our men and women safe.
According to Mateo, at least 3 similar incidents have already occurred at bodegas across the city this year. The group is calling on leaders to do more.
The second time in the last 3 months, because you guys remember, last month it happened in the Bronx, right up under the bridge where somebody lost their lives. Double tap that screen to get these likes up. I'm getting up off of that topic right now. I want you guys to see this. I'm skipping forward. I gotta get us right to this point right here where I want us at right now, because I want you guys to understand that there's not just one accord or one account of what's going on. Let's say about Iran, where they try to turn off the internet, or different countries where they try to manipulate people because of less knowledge. We got a situation over here I think you guys need to know about, because we covered a little bit of it yesterday with the landmine. I can say that word, where the mercenary was forced to go through and boom, boom. You know what I'm talking about, right? So if you guys have been here yesterday, we're going to keep on to the same sort of topic. We got a situation in Russia where mercenaries have been lied to, and in order to be brought into this WAR war that's going on, they've been lied to and been told that they're getting regular jobs. As they get to these jobs that they think they're going to, they're told, guess what? You're not going to get no job. You're about to go into the battlefield. And guess what? They wind up on the battlefield and things like this happen. Guess what they're doing to these mercenaries that are going to Russia? They're being left helpless and surrendering in mass numbers to Ukrainians on the Ukrainian side. Let's go to Africa. Let's go to Russia.
Soldiers with Ukraine's 63rd Separate Mechanized Brigade captured a Ugandan citizen who had been fighting for the Russian army near Lyman. The man approached a Ukrainian checkpoint on his own, unarmed and asking for help. The 63rd Brigade of Ukraine reported the information. The captive identified himself as Makantora Richard, born in 1982 with a wife and 2 daughters. Back home in Uganda, he worked odd jobs as a supermarket cleaner and lived in a small 2-room house. According to him, his earnings barely covered basic necessities like food, soap, and sugar. Richard explained that he was approached on the street by people offering well-paid work in Russia at a supermarket, factory, or security service. To make the trip, he took out a bank loan for plane tickets. Along with 3 other Ugandan men, he set off, believing he was heading to civilian employment. However, after arriving, everything changed, he said. They were told there was no job, only one option: sign a contract with the Russian army. When they refused, the exits were blocked. Guns were pointed at them and they were given an ultimatum: sign or die. The gates were locked. They told us, "You're not going anywhere." Then they pointed weapons at us, the man recalled. The group was then transported at night to an unknown location and later abandoned in a forest. Richard says they were held in an underground facility under horrific conditions. No proper food, infested with bedbugs, surviving only on water and sweets. Some people were forced to sign contracts under pressure. He said he didn't understand where he'd ended up and only realized from news reports that he was in a combat zone. Eventually, he managed to escape and reach Ukrainian positions. After his rescue, Richard issued a warning to fellow countrymen and citizens of other African nations. Don't believe promises of work in Russia. It's a trap. They'll force you into the army. They'll make you sign a contract at gunpoint. It's better to stay home with your children. Recall, Russia has been recruiting South African citizens to participate in the war against Ukraine through the online chat service Discord.
Yo, that's crazy. So they tricking people like they got a job, and then they just give you a weapon and drop you in the middle of battle. Whoo! Oh yeah, Putin. And I know them people ain't lying. Them people was not lying. They done went over there like to the enemy. I need to get up out of here. What do you guys think about that? Now look, what we got over here. It's already a shame that men have to get drafted. Yeah, that's crazy. That right there, you right, Jay Cricket. That's Slill's knavery and a whole different way of doing it. That's a trick right there. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys, over to New York again. Manhattan this time. We got a runaway carriage with a horse that crashes into cars in Midtown. I think it's about time to stop this. I understand the way it feels, the nostalgia. But with all of the cars and all of the stuff that you can clearly see that these horses are going through, I think that it's time to get rid of the carriages inside of New York and all of that, Christmas time, going in the park with the snow and all of that. It's cute and it's beautiful. But think about the horses. They're holding up those carriages and they're not getting nothing out of it. I think this horse was like, as soon as I get a chance, I'm out of here. And that's basically what it did. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys, because this is in my city. This is in New York. I really feel like people need to do something about this situation right here because, horses, animals, y'all know how we are about the animals. We don't play that game, especially when it comes down to a beautiful horse. You kidding me?
Word of another carriage horse breaking free and causing chaos in Manhattan is renewing calls to ban them from the city. Last week, one charged into a crowded street and rammed into cars. Eyewitness News reporter Tanya Rivera with the latest chapter in this debate.
Chaos on 6th Avenue Thursday when a rogue carriage horse took off into oncoming traffic with no driver, sideswiping cars and a taxi and terrifying pedestrians.
People were horrified. They're absolutely horrified, and everybody's scrambling to get out of the way, hoping that they're in no way going to be caught up in all of this.
This video released today is renewing calls to reform the horse-drawn carriage industry.
Just a week into 2026, and there's another violent horse carriage crash that easily could have killed pedestrians and drivers.
Riders' Law, a proposal to phase out licenses for horse-drawn carriages, failed to pass a city council committee vote back in November. But advocates say they are hopeful for 2026, the year of the horse.
We want to work with the new speaker, Julie Menon, and the city council to pass Riders' Law.
And they are scammers, scamming you out. You want to talk about scammers and people that's trying to grift you for your money? Go over there and ask how much it costs to get on one of those horses.
Let's phase this out like almost every other large city in the world has already done.
The peanut gallery over here. We caught up with the runaway horse, Destiny, in her Midtown stable, where the head of the carriage drivers union tells us she is fine.
She was seen by her vet. She was fully examined. The health department was notified right away that this has happened.
Destiny is back at work, but the union is investigating.
Destiny don't want to work no more. Understand that? Destiny saw a way to get up out of there and she took it. And you should have had her tied up. How about that? Another thing. Guys, I know you're scared of animals in certain situations like this. You see those cars and those taxis that didn't want to get involved? There's a certain time to actually get involved. You're probably scared, but once the horse is already stopped and the carriage is jammed between the two cars, just grab the mare by the lead and just try to see if you can hold her straight or just hold on to one of the reins. And if she's calm, she'll be all right. She probably just broke free because she was not tied up, which is what they're basically gonna say. Now, if you see her doing the rearing up and kicking back, that's when you get the HELL hockey sticks out of the way, because the pressure that could come from getting hit by a horse, by one of those legs, can really hurt you. How do I know? Every March 17th, which is my birthday, St. Patrick's Day, my Uncle Jerome used to take me to Prospect Park, where they had horses that they would take you around on a course, on a route in Brooklyn. One specific day, I'm on the horse, he's on the horse, he actually falls off. He goes to get up. The hind leg comes back, connects with him in the head. Didn't break anything as far as structure or whatever like that. I think he got a fracture, but he never was able to remember what happened to him. We was in the hospital. I took him to the hospital. We got to the hospital. I'm only like 13 years old at this time. We're in the hospital, and he's there for a while. We got out, and years later, 20, 30 years later, Like Uncle Jerome, remember when that horse hit you? It's like, no, I don't. Tell me how it happened again. So until this day, until he passed, he didn't even remember what happened to him. The amount of strength that a horse has, I am not even going to have to explain to you guys. That's why they call it horsepower in engines of a car. But yeah, shout out to Uncle Jerome. Learned a lot about horses from you. Every birthday used to go to Prospect Park. That's why I love horses and why I ride them a lot. Amen. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. We got a situation over here where this one American wingsuit pilot, he's no longer alive, and he used to dive off of mountains, trees, and big buildings and stuff like that. But I want to give him his props because I want to say he lost his life doing what he loved doing. Let's get on over to one of these great Americans who basically, he basically had a wingsuit. I think he got pretty famous doing this. I remember following this story because of what he would do and how crazy I would look at the jumps, and because I'm scared of heights. But yeah, I want you guys to check this out because it's no longer with us, and I like to give people their respects and let them go out with the respects that they should have.
In the adrenaline-pumping world of base jumping, wingsuit pilot Brendan Weinstein made daring jumps like this look easy, leaping from peaks and summits in a specialized jumpsuit called a wingsuit, allowing him to glide in a free fall. Videos like this earning him reverence and scores of followers. But around 9 a.m. local time on Monday, Weinstein's latest leap took a deadly turn. His wife, Kavia Martins, confirming to NBC News that he died during a jump from Table Mountain in South Africa, multiple rescue groups responding. The country's National Parks Organization confirming the tragic loss of life involving a base jumper, but did not release the name of the victim. The group also reiterating that base jumping from the park is prohibited. The South African Hand Gliding and Paragliding Association not commenting on this specific incident, but noting that the mountain presents significant
We got people in the comments that's like, hell no, I'm not doing that. Y'all already know I ain't messing with no heights, but Washington Heights, Brooklyn Heights, Jersey Heights. I don't mess around with no heights. That's the only heights I mess around with. Please.
Objective hazards on top of a sport that's already incredibly risky.
The margin for error is basically non-existent. You're talking about a human who is flying at a speed in excess of 100 miles an hour within 6 feet of the ground, right? If something happens and goes wrong, it goes wrong almost before you can react.
Tom Aiello jumped with Weinstein in the past.
Most of the energy that I saw him putting forth.
So Miss Swanza said her and Terry going. Terry said, hell no, I ain't going nowhere.
Recently was towards things like access issues for the base community, trying to get people better legal access to jump more sites.
Tonight, it remains unclear how the experienced jumper may have missed his mark. Weinstein's wife posting pictures with their son, writing, he was deeply loved, and he left a powerful mark on so many people, a family and community, now left in mourning.
Yeah, buddy, but you need to think about stuff like that right there when you're thinking about jumping out of a plane in a wingsuit. I mean, I understand, but that's why sometimes when you get married, your wife say, give me the key to that motorcycle. You ain't driving that damn thing no more, boy. And sometimes you gotta tap out, you guys. You gotta tap out sometimes. What Miggity said? What Miggity said? We got Chicago Heights, Arlington Heights. That's it. I'm not messing with no heights, none of that. No, I'm not going. Look at that. Look at Terry said, I ain't going. If you're going to go the way that you want to. You see that, right? That's what Kevin said. That's right. You get what I'm saying, right? Okay. No, this is not the hate channel. What are you talking about? You crazy? Well, get up out of here with all of that. Why are you calling us the hate channel? Who that? D-Bone 1110. We ain't the hate channel. We all about love over here. Y'all don't believe me? Show him the love with the hearts over there right now. He don't know what he's talking about. Double tap that screen, get those likes up. Also, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys appreciated that story right there. But what I want to ask you is this. There's something that's called when you perceive and when you work hard and you try to get something accomplished, sometimes people may not be with you. Sometimes people might not believe in your dream. Now imagine if you say you want to make the next, car that can fly and you can do it. The people are like, yeah, whatever, you ain't going to be able to do that. But you keep working at it. Next thing you know, Miss Swanza made the car that can fly. See what I'm saying? You'll never let nobody tell you what you can't do. We got this gentleman right here. They told him that if he get bit by if he allows snakes to bite him, that his blood won't be worth anything. He said, you know what? I know if I keep on being persistent, that's right, you heard me. This man was letting over 200 snakes bite him because he was trying to make his blood like Wolverine or maybe the Hulk. Maybe he can heal somebody. Check this story out right here. You guys ain't gonna believe this one. This man right here, he's got a lot of BALLS because I'm never gonna let this many, I'm not even going around this many snakes, or one.
For 18 years, Tim Frady spent much of his spare time like this.
Black Mamba.
Taking bites from his pets, some of the deadliest snakes on the planet.
Black Mamba. And you know he ain't got no wife, right? Notice how he's living the single life. I don't think a wife wants to be around this fool here with all them snakes. What is his venom like? What they kids gonna come out looking like? One of the Cobra kids? Let's go, y'all.
So why face something even the bravest action heroes usually fear?
I hate snake shock! The reason behind it is I didn't want to die from snake bite. I didn't want to use antivenom. I didn't want to lose a finger.
Despite lacking a formal scientific education, Frady developed a system to build up a resistance, starting with small injections of venom and building up to full-on bites.
Very painful.
But there were setbacks.
Somebody said nut job. Who's that right there? Brad Perry said nut job.
First year I started doing this, it was a total disaster. I ended up in the hospital in a coma on 9/12, the day after 9/11, after 2 cobra bites.
Eventually, Frady had the idea that his blood...
Regular conversation. You know, I ended up in a coma in a hospital after 2 cobras bit me. Nigga, did you just hear what you said? You crazy?
It could be used by scientists to develop a better kind of antivenom and tackle a global problem.
5 million people are bitten every year. 125,000 people die every year. And there's over 400,000 amputations and disfigurements because of snake venom.
While there are antivenoms available for many of the world's venomous snakes, the traditional process has drawbacks. Small doses of venom are injected into an animal, like a horse, which then produces antibodies turned into an antivenom. Plus, those horse antibodies can cause serious side effects. That means a patient needs to identify the kind of snake that bit them, and then the hospital needs to have that specific antivenom.
I can't move on without giving them the proper name. You're correct. Funthodont. There you go. You're right.
Challenge in many poor rural areas. Frady's dream, a universal antivenom based on human antibodies. It seemed more like a fantasy. For nearly 2 decades, he couldn't convince scientists to use his blood, but he persisted. Over 650 injections and over 200 snake bites later, one phone call changed everything.
I was like, look, I would love to get my hands on some of your blood. And then his answer to me was, yeah, I've been expecting this call for a long time.
Immunologist Jacob Glanville founded biotech company Cenovax. The goal? Create a universal vaccine that could treat multiple infectious diseases.
You got the call.
I started wondering whether the same biology might...
So now this goes to tell you guys, no matter how hard you want something to happen, if you keep on being persistent, you might be able to achieve your dream. You heard that, right? So anybody out there that's thinking about doing something like this, don't listen to me. Just go get the snakes. Start doing what you want to do. You can start from small garden snakes or whatever like that. And hey, maybe you'll be able to get to where this guy's at. Let's keep on going, you guys.
Apply to snake bite that applies to universal vaccines.
And the opportunity to study Tim Frady was once in a lifetime.
Tim seems to be a totally unique immunological history phenomenon.
Glanville says that through repeated venom exposure, Frady has built incredibly strong antibodies.
So it's like a samurai sword. You're bending it and hammering it and bending it and hammering. Each time it makes the blade more excellent.
Now, a collaboration between...
This fool got circles on his arm with dates on it from when he got bit last and what snake bit him. Lord have mercy.
Frady, Cenovax, and scientists at Columbia University have published a new research paper. The team developed what it calls an antivenom cocktail using antibodies isolated from Frady's blood. In tests on mice, it gave complete protection against 13 out of 19 of the most deadly snake venoms in the world, and partial protection against the other 6.
A major step forward, but still a long journey ahead, with a different blend of antibodies for vipers in the works. Freedy hasn't been bitten in 8 years, but says he's always willing to jump back in the snake pit for science.
I miss it a lot, but we'll see what the future holds.
He looked like Wolverine talking about he missed it a lot. Let's see what the future holds. Now I have a question. And you know I'm going to come with a nice amount, a nice hefty amount for my bottom line family. Let's say $150,000. It's not venomous, but it's going to be a bite. How many people here are going to take a snake bite for $150,000? And you see I'm not cheap. I'm not a cheap guy. Give you a nice amount of money. Would you let a snake bite you, a non-venomous cobra? Yeah. How about a non-venomous cobra for $150,000? Let's get thumbs up, yes. Thumbs down, no. Let's see who we got up in here. You know I'm kind of crazy. I be doing all types of nut stuff. What we got over here? Liberty and Justice says, not me. Vincent, Vincent right up under her. I'm good. Wait a minute. We got Gorilla said, I'll take it. Yo, we got a lot of people over here that said that they'll take it. But then we got a lot of people that's like, H-E-L-L, no. No thanks, I'm good. Who is that? That's Nikki. Winter says, take the snake guy to the rat house. Hey! You know what? You guys might be onto something here. That's why we work good together. Snakes scare the heck out of me. Yeah, Liberty said, hell no, I don't give a damn how much money it is. I ain't messing with no damn snake. They be like, come on, Liberty, $250,000. One bite right there. Matter of fact, $500,000. You going for it? $500,000, Liberty, one bite from a cobra. That big head thing that be like this. Man, listen, I ain't gonna do it either. I don't know. Y'all call me what y'all want. I ain't doing it. Keep your money. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Double tap that screen to get those likes up. I really appreciate you guys because lifelong friends have reunited. Reunited, and it feels so good. Come on, you guys. You know we got to take you out the right way. Reunited, and it's understood. That's right, y'all. Let's get the friends back together because they haven't seen each other in a long time. We're going over to Africa to put these two friends back together. You know we love the animals. Reunited and it feels so good. He walked up on his bro like, yo, what's good, man? They put me up in here with you, son. I mean, I ain't asked for no top, but okay. I mean, you got your trunk in my ear. You can tell they best friends. Yeah, you can tell they best friends. Can you move your tusk, please? So yeah, these guys are now together in a sanctuary. They don't have to. Oh boy, they don't have to worry about getting poached anymore. They don't got to worry about okay. He's like, yo, would you get your trunk out my butt? You can tell that they're best friends, and you can't tell them to get a room. They already got a stable. You can't tell the elephants to get a room when they got a stable. But if you're trying to make some money, hit that link in the description, and today you'll be able to make up to $840. That's right. We got 2 surveys in there. You guys, you'll make some money, and I'll make some money too. Also, you're trying to promote your business. You might be a lawyer, traveling salesman. I don't know. You're a doctor, maybe a lawn doc. I don't know what you do. But you know what? We're trying to help you promote your business, and how we do it, we put your promo up in our post notification area. That's right. All you got to do is send your promos over to us. Make sure it's in a 1080 by 1080 size frame because that's what YouTube requires, and we'll put it up in a in the post notification area. This way people will see your business and maybe you'll be able to make some money off of that. We're all about sharing the platform, and why not? It's only a second to pop it up there, and hopefully you guys will get some business going over to you too as well. And guess what we got coming up? Because we've already made the calls and we're getting follow-ups right now. That's right, it's the Show Your Talent Search coming up in Brooklyn. We're trying to get this done by the next 2 weeks. We're already honing down and locking in another location. The Show Your Talent Search is sponsored by Big Drip Hard Punch. What is the Show Your Talent Search? I'll tell you guys right now. It's happening in New York, Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. If you've got talent and you want to make $250 off your talent and you're from one of those 5 boroughs, or online now because we're adding it online, we're doing the Show Your Talent Search. That's the talent search where I'm hosting, and sponsored by Big Drip Hard Punch. Guess what? DJ Don Dada, formerly of Black Ink Crew, that's my DJ. That's the one that's there on the 1s and 2s, turning up to the music so that we can have fun and turn up for the Big Drip Hard Punch sponsorship. And you guys, if you want to be a part of it, all you got to do is go to the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. That's www.drinkbigdrip.com. Once we find 5 winners, we bring everybody together and we put them all in one location, and hopefully that person will win $1,000. Person or a group. That's right, the Show Your Talent Search. You guys want to be a part of the talent search? Again, all you got to do is go to the website, put your email in the first page at the mailing list, and we'll keep you updated on where we're going to be so that you guys can have a chance to chime in or actually come to the physical location and see if you could make some money with us. If you chime in and we do it off online, you got to press that notification right there for us to bring you in, show us your talent, and if you win, boom, you're going to make $250. After that, we're going to bring everybody together, like I said, and one final person is going to win $1,000. You guys can actually go right to the website by scanning the QR code on the back of one of our cans, or what you could do is every single one of our headers, we always have the QR code somewhere there. All you got to do, scan the QR code, go right to the website, join up, and you'll probably meet me, DJ Don Dada, because we got Brooklyn coming up. You guys can't wait to do it. And also, you know what we're doing right now, right? We got to send those prayers up because we got to get out of here and have a fantastic day. Want to make sure that everybody's doing that on this Tuesday, January the 13th. That's right, you guys. Want to give a big shout out to Rebecca Lanyon Bueno. Hope you're feeling good, sis. Mark Dorfman, Liberty and Justice. Casey, I hope you liked the song this morning. Tell me, stood right by me. Also, CJ the Cat. Got to give prayers out to Rebecca Lanyon Bueno, Liberty and Justice, Bubble. We got Diggity Diggs in the building. Teddy. Who else I see? Audrey. You do know that we have a Discord, right, you guys? We're praying for who else? Jay Wood. Got to make sure that we show some love for Frank. There you go, Frank. Good morning and God bless you. Who else we got? Miss Swanza. Question Everything. Terry Cone. Jay Wood. CJ the Cat. Audrey. Tanya. Yanni. We got Jay Wood, David Brown, and Rebecca again. Can never stop praying for you, sis. Want you guys to have a fantastic and safe day. Amen. And you could have won anyway. But the fact of the matter that y'all came in to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, hump day. Can't wait to see you guys. 6 o'clock. We're going to be right here, putting it down. Trending topics, current events, #1 chat, and the #1 host on YouTube, Our Bottom Line. Y'all know how we do it. Could have went anywhere. Fact of the matter that y'all came here to chill with me on this Tuesday, I appreciate you. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Get 'em! Peace. Let's go.